If you're after a practical sports car and you've got around $40,000 to spend, the turbocharged all-wheel drive Subaru WRX seems to have a lot of the goods. But just how good is it, and how well can it handle a day on track? Conveniently, we're back again here at Sandown Raceway for another Car Advice Weekend Warrior track test to find out. Priced from $38,990 for this base 6-speed manual version, the 4th generation WRX undercuts its STI equivalent by more than 10 grand. Okay, so it doesn't get the STI's borderline rally-spec rear wing, but the WRX does come standard with this neat boot-lip spoiler, 18-inch alloy wheels, quad exhausts, and, importantly, a brand new engine. While the new STI makes do with the same 2.5-litre 4-cylinder as the previous model, under the mandatory bonnet scoop of the new WRX sits an all-new direct injection 2-litre, outputting 197 kilowatts of power and 350 newton-meters of torque. Inside, there's a 6.2-inch colour touchscreen, some carbon fibre look trim, a digital boost gauge, and a red stitched leather steering wheel, and sports bucket seats. But what's it like on track? Let's find out. With the help of Subaru's famous Symmetrical all-wheel drive system, the new WRX claims a 0 to 100 time of 6 seconds. And that's actually slower than the old 2.5-litre WRX, but it's fast enough to be quicker than both the more expensive Volkswagen Golf GTI and the identically priced Ford Focus ST, both of which are front-wheel drive only. And the pedal placement is pretty bang on for some heel and toe. The gearbox is a nice short shift unit. It's quite notchy, but it's accurate. Steering too it's on the lighter side for a sports car, but it's very consistent and it's still plenty accurate too. Sandown is notoriously hard on brakes, but while the tyres are just warming up and still providing good grip, these Dunlop tyres, the brakes are just starting to become a little bit of a weak spot. With good grip from the Dunlops and helped by the all-wheel drive system and a torque vectoring system, you can pretty much just point and shoot with the WRX, which makes it pretty straightforward to drive fast, but a lot of fun too. The brakes are starting to feel like a bit of a weak point on the car from standard, just having to push on them deeper and deeper into the footwell. But the WRX weighs 1,469 kilos, and that's not light. It does obviously have a 4-wheel drive system on board, but that weight really a bit of a hindrance, more so on the brakes than the agility. The thing changes directions without trouble at all. Dunlop tyres are starting to make a little bit of noise, but you can get away with murder even with the brakes starting to get a bit warm. You can basically arrive at your corner, spot the exit, tip it in, and just punch out of it, and the systems just pretty much do the rest for you. There's a little bit of understeer if you get on it too early, but generally it'll do quite well. On the road, the engine can be a little bit laggy under about 2,500 RPM, but you're so rarely getting into that range out here on the track that it's just not an issue. It pulls strongly up from 4,000 RPM all the way, as we do now, down the back straight at Sandown, just shy of 7,000 RPM. While the tyres are still biting and feeling good, it's just the brakes that are starting to let it down a little bit. But to offer this sort of performance and fun for this much coin is pretty impressive. But to have this much ability for the same price, that's pretty remarkable. The all-new Subaru WRX is the only legitimate 4 or all-wheel drive sports car you can buy for anywhere near this price. The nearest genuine rival would be the Audi S1 at a touch under 50k. That's STI territory, so it certainly has value on its side. As for our question of how it can handle a day on track, well, apart from some fairly warm brakes, this thing not only enjoys them, it eats them up.